through anything, right? And they started on the left foot and they finished on the right. And they cut all the way up and they cut all the way down and they pull all your clothes off at the same time. And Pikachu! They released the Pokemon! And man, it was cold. So they take away all my clothes and they replace them with this nasty lime green hospital gown, the kind where they tie it in the back and your butt is showing, you know? So I see my reflection in the mirror and I realize at that moment that I do not look like a comedian. Oh no, with all that green on, I look like goddamn Shrek. And it wasn't me who gave me the nickname, it was the nurses. I could hear them too. Mira, Marta, the gordito, he looks like Shrek. He does, all he needs are the antennas and the donkey, that's it. So they wheel me into my own room, right? I'm laying down, I'm holding my stomach. And the doctor comes in, and I don't know what it is about doctors, but they're just always happy to see you, right?
Ah, Mr. Iglesias, how are you?
I can't fart. No, Mr. Iglesias, don't worry, we'll take care of everything. Just do me a favor, roll over on your side. I'll be right back. So he goes over to the wall and he gets these little gloves. And he comes, don't get ahead of me. He puts them on, right, and he comes over and he puts his hand on my side and he goes, does that hurt? Mm-mm. Does that hurt? And then this doctor turned into a magician. Oh, yes, he did. Because his hand disappeared. And it reappeared somewhere way back here. And I'm not going to tell you guys what he did, but you know what he did. Pokemon. And then he's got the nerve to tell me, Mr. Iglesias, I found a problem. You seem to be suffering internally. You have a blockage in your system. And the whole time I'm thinking, oh, you're the one blocking it, dude. Pull it out! So he says, Mr. Iglesias, we're going to need to flush out your system. I'm like, okay, cool, flush me out. Give me some, soda and some crackers. Let's do it, right? No, Mr. Iglesias, we have a special way of flushing you out, right? So he rings the call button for the nurse. Ding! And the nurse comes in. Oh, it's a Shrek. And she walks in, right? And she's got this little bag with like a little hose hanging out of it, right? And I see this hose and I'm thinking, ooh, you better be watering a plant. And I'm not going to tell you guys what she did with the hose, but you know what she did with the hose. She made me a pinchy water balloon. And when they say they're gonna flush you out, they're not lying. The second they do this to you, guess when you gotta go? Right then and there. And they don't do it when it's all convenient, when you're over here in the facilities and you're sitting down and you're like, okay, do it, let it rip, dale gas, let's go. They do it when you're laying down 18 feet away in a bed, laying down, and then they do this to you, and anything you have in here goes from here back there like that, man. And it hits you like lightning, dude. My arms locked up, my legs sticking up. I tried to run to the restroom. I look like an old Frankenstein movie, man. Just, girls go crazy. And ladies, I'm gonna tell you right now, if a pretty man is your thing, if a gorgeous GQ guy is what you want, then by all means, go for it. But I'm gonna let you know right now, in the long run, a pretty man is gonna do nothing but lie to you, cheat on you, and break your heart. That's why, ladies, you need to start giving guys like me a chance. That's right, because I'm going to tell you guys right now, the worst thing I'll ever do is have dinner without you. And everybody... Look at some of the girls. Everybody gives me advice too on the best way to meet that certain someone, like my sister Emily, she always tells me the best way to meet someone is to go on the internet. She goes, go online, you'll meet someone. I'm like, I thought it'd be a good idea because my sister, she's cool people. She goes to school, she goes to church, she's nice. But I gotta tell you guys something, she's a freak. You meet her in person, she's all sweet and innocent. Oh, hello, how are you? Nice to meet you. Bye. But you catch her online at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, man, she's like, I'm licking and sucking your toes. Ooh, do you like it? Now see, that's scary. It is, because I had no idea she was online. I was like, yeah, I like it. I was like, what's up? I see my sister the next day. She's like, I met someone. I said, me too. Check it out. I got some sandals. What's up? But you guys have to be careful. If you're gonna meet people on the internet, be careful, because you don't know what you're gonna get. You don't. I went on a blind date with a girl who was half Sasquatch, half Chupacabra. Yes, some of the white people, Chupa what? It's like Bigfoot, only smaller. Like cousins, you know? You gotta be careful, because they'll throw these little mysterious words out there to kind of like, get you excited. Like this one girl, she described herself as bubbly, and I hear bubbly and I was thinking, oh my God, wow, really? Shut up, wow, really? Shut up! Man, and instead what I got was... standing there. You have to be careful. And I said, you know what? Okay, maybe it's my bad luck. Couldn't possibly happen to me 3 times, right? So I gave it another shot. I went on another blind date with a girl who said she was a sexy Latina. I was excited. What's up? I get to her house, you guys. She was not Latina. Oh, no. She was black. Now, I didn't have a problem with her being black, but she specifically wrote out, I'm Latina. So I called her on it, right? I said, hey, girl, before we go any further, didn't you say that you were Latina? You know what she told me? She got mad. She was like, boo, I am Latina. Shoot, that's my name. All right then. Well, let's go. One night I was drinking on the bus and I go to put my cup down and I missed the table and the cup hit the floor. I didn't get up right away to get the cup because I figured I'm gonna get up in a couple minutes and make myself another drink. I'll pick up the cup then. Dave sees the cup on the floor and then he looks at me and says, hey, I ain't your mama. Pick that shit up. I get to the back of the bus and I'm like, wait a minute, I pay him. Hey, Dave, shut up. Yeah, I'll be in the back in my room. Thank you. Drive safe. And people tell me, you work with a man who talks that way to you? Why? Let me tell you why. Because he's honest. With Dave, you know exactly what you get. Nowadays, it is so hard for me to tell who's being genuine and who has an agenda. And with him, you know exactly where you stand. If he likes you, he loves you. And if not, you're on the curb with Kenny G. That being said, I have a story to share. About 1.5 years ago, maybe longer, we're on the bus and we're heading down the highway. Just so you have kind of an understanding of the bus layout, let's say this is the front. Here's Dave, the driver, empty seat, and then a sliding door that goes in between him and the rest of the tour bus. My buddy Alfred and I are in the living room portion and we're watching TV. We're watching the news. And on the news, there's this person who is running for some type of office. No particular office. And I guess their big plan is to erect a structure between 2 bodies of land. Somewhere. And I guess they want one side of the structure to finance the entire project. Well, my buddy Alfred and I, we have a lot of family that works in construction, and we know a bad job when we see one. So we started to voice our opinion out loud about how we felt about this person and what they wanted to do. We're being very loud. So loud, Dave can hear us. And then we hear Dave. America. I yell out to Dave. I said, be quiet, Dave. This isn't about you. He taps a button on the dashboard that activates the sliding door. And when the door is about that far from closing, he yells out, I'm building a wall. I couldn't even get upset because I was too much in shock over the fact that that came out of someone 4 feet away from me. My buddy Alfred and I, we look like chickens. We're like... My cell phone goes off. I take out my phone, and there's a text message from Dave. And I said, that's right, he better say I'm sorry. He better say just kidding. I open up the text message, and it says, and you're paying for it. And people tell me, you still work with him after that? Yes, I do. I trust that man with my life every single night. I know where his heart's at. He can say whatever he wants. At the end of the day, he still has to drive around the king of the Mexicans. The point to this story is, just because you have a difference in opinion, it doesn't mean that you can't have respect for one another, that you can't have love for one another, that you can't have incredible friendships with one another. It's our differences that make us special. What a lot of us need to work on is our delivery. It's all in the way you say things. That's why text messages are always misinterpreted, because you read the text according to how you feel. What does he mean, hello? Yeah. Anyway, Dave has gotten us to 48 of the 50 states. He doesn't travel with us outside of America. He prefers it that way. Last year, we got a chance to do a European tour of 15 countries. Estonia, Germany, Norway, Belgium, the Netherlands, UK. We're just bouncing around all over the place. And then we wound up on the other side of the world. Out of all the countries I performed in, my favorite country outside of home is Australia. And I'll tell you why. Australia, much like us in America, has its list of priorities. You know what's not on their list? Political correctness. They do not care about your feelings. It's like a country full of Daves. Believe it or not, it's very refreshing to be around such a large group of people who speak their minds so freely. And if you know that before you go there, you're gonna have an amazing time. But if you don't know that and you show up, it is a culture shock and a half, because I showed up and I didn't know. Everybody says you gotta see the beaches, and I went to the beach. I had people coming up to me. Hey, somebody help me get him back in the water. Yeah, look at right there, big fella. Look at you right there. Oh, look, he's moving. He's moving. He's moving. Oh, he's crying. He's crying. I bet it tastes like gravy. It's not bullying if everyone does it. Yeah, that being said, I'm in Australia, Sydney, Australia, at the Opera House. For me, it was one of the most iconic places I've ever got to perform in. It was bucket list, definitely. After the show, I wanted to go hang out with some Aussies and see what that was like. I'm hanging out at a pub. First things first, Australian people do not drink Foster's beer. That's an American thing. They don't drink that over there. I tried ordering one to fit in, didn't go over well. Bartender looked at me. Hey, you like the taste of piss, do ya? Okay, don't order that again. So I'm hanging out with these two Aussies, and we're drinking a rum called Bundaberg. At first glance, it looks like a Coca-Cola bottle because there's a polar bear on the front. And then you drink it, and you're like, that's not Coke. As we're talking, a third Australian joined the conversation. And he sounded a little bit different from the other two. He had more of a raspy voice. More like, all right, yeah, mate, yeah, all right. He sounded like a drunk pirate underwater. These two guys didn't like him, so they called him a name and they left. And now it's just me and drunk pirate. We're talking about life. Life in America, life in Australia, talking about our differences. He tells me that he's a professional knife maker. He's showing me how it's done. He's showing me pictures. We wind up polishing off 3 bottles of this rum. And drunk wasn't even the right word to describe our level. My tour manager, Ryan, he comes up to me and he says, Gabe, time to go. And I look at Ryan and I'm like, but Ryan, I just made a friend and he makes knives and they're pretty. My tour manager always knows how to talk to me no matter what condition I'm in. If I'm drunk, he knows better than to talk to me like I'm an adult. He talks to me like I'm 2. He looks at me and he says, hey, buddy, you hungry? Well, listen, if we don't leave right now, they're gonna close McDonald's and you're gonna have to eat at the airport. I gotta go. Oh, Mom, you gotta go, no worries. And he goes to shake my hand. And when he shook my hand, he put his personal pocket knife that he made in my hand as a gift. That's for you, Mike. Thanks for being nice. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna cut cheeseburgers with this. So my son has these 2 friends that come over the house all the time. One friend, his name is Ken, works a lot with computers. The other friend, his name is Fabian. He wants to be a police officer. Both of these kids are really, really good. Now, I keep calling everyone kids, even though they're all 18. But to me, they're kids. I'm almost 40. I'm like, you know. Like some of the conversations that we have are very adult-like. And the other conversations, I'm like, what am I doing with my life? For example, at home when I'm hanging out, I usually just wear, you know, very similar to now except the Hawaiian shirt. I usually wear like a t-shirt that has like either Star Wars or Marvel Comics or Transformers on it or cartoons. You know, I like wearing stuff like that around the house. One day, I'm wearing a t-shirt that has the Avengers on the front. And I walk into the living room and my son's friend Fabian sees me wearing this shirt. And so he starts pointing. And I'm like, what's up, dude? He goes, weak. Excuse me? Weak. And then he says, DC's better. What did you say? DC's better. I'm like, DC's okay. You know, Obama lives there. They pass laws. They got hotels, historic museums. It's not even a real state. I don't know why you're getting cray-cray. He goes, nah, fool, DC Comics. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm almost 40. I don't care. It's just a really cool shirt. I like it. It fits. No big deal. That's because they are. I go, you need to relax. They're the best. I go, you need to chill. And in my head, I'm like, why am I having this conversation? I have better things to do with my time, like trying to get my son on an elephant. But no. The kid in me's like, why are they the best? And then he points at the shirt again. Iron Man sucks. Batman's #1. I go, why? Because he is. I go, that's not an argument. First of all, Batman's not the best superhero. I hate to break it to you. He's not. I can hear people already getting ready to boo. They're like, oh, no, Fluffy, don't go there. Don't go there, Fluffy. Don't do it. Yes, I'm going to do this. Watch this. Batman's not the best superhero. Batman is the creepiest superhero. Batman is the creepiest superhero that has ever lived. He even sounds creepy. I'm Batman. I'm Batman. You don't recognize that voice? Want some candy? Help me find my puppy. Hello, he only comes out at night. His face is always covered up. He's always waiting in alleys. And who does he talk to? A guy named Joker, a guy named Riddler. His name is Batman. Joker, Riddler, Batman. Joker, Riddler, Batman. Those are Mexican gang member names. Can you imagine if that was Batman's real identity at night? I'm Batman. During the day? No, chingue su madre, soy Batman, loco. Todo el pinche día aquí trabajando y luego le parto la madre Joker. I'm Batman. I said, all right, Fabian, Mr. Batman's the best. Based on my t-shirt says Marvel Comics. I said, I see Thor, I see Captain America, I see Iron Man. Who are some of the superheroes that DC Comics has that makes them better than Marvel? Go. Batman, you said that. Superman, that's a good one. Wonder Woman, okay. Green Lantern, whoa, 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 whoa. I said, I know the other superheroes, but Green Lantern? What's his power? He wears a ring, and the ring gives him power. I said, that's a fantasy. I don't know any man who wears a ring who has power. And if you're not clapping right now, my point exactly. You can't clap, can you? You can't. You know why you can't clap? Because you're sitting next to kryptonite. He's not even clapping. He's like, no, 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 no. No, no, me pega Wonder Woman. No, no. And he used to mess with me a lot. Trust me. In my last special, I talked about how I had a Volkswagen Beetle. It was a true story. I really had a Beetle. And I got rid of it because I got tired of the fat jokes. When you're a fluffy guy and you have a little car and all of your friends are professional comedians, oh, they'll make you cry. Paul especially.
How the hell did you manage to squeeze inside of that? No, hombre, I have never seen a car expand before while someone was inside of it. How do you get a stretch mark on the windshield? That's what I want to know. When you fart, does it go faster?
One after another after another. I'm like, oh my God. And you know what it is? It's karma. Because 10 years ago, I did a joke about Paul Rodriguez on TV. I used to be on a show on the Nickelodeon network called All That. Some of you remember? Yeah? That was me, a lot smaller. I was only 2 X's. I was a 2X, yeah. Anyway, as soon as the TV show season was over, they gave all the cast members gifts. They gave this one girl TV, this one kid a DVD collection. Since I was the only one who had his own car, they gave me a car alarm with a remote start to it. A lot of cars have those now, but think back 10 years ago, there was only a few that had the... My friends went, where'd you get that? I looked at him and I said, Nickelodeon. That's bad. I go to show it off to everybody. I showed my mom. I said, Mom, go to the car. I got to use the bathroom. I left you a present. Oh, a present? Okay. So she goes to the car, and I started the car from the kitchen. El Diablo! El Diablo! El Diablo! I had to run outside. Mom, it's not the devil. Look at. Nickelodeon. Oh my God, mijo. Oh my God, you scared me. Me sacaste un pedo, mijo. Oh my God, mira, smell, mijo, smell. I wind up doing a show in Hollywood at a comedy club, and I'm working with my idol, with Paul Rodriguez. As soon as the show was over, we go, we're walking out the door, and he walks up to me and he says,
You know, I like the whole fluffy thing you do. It's catchy. Sounds cute. Keep eating.
We walk outside, and my car is parked there first because I showed up late. So, my car's right there, and Paul walks by. All right, take it easy. He walks right in front of my car, and my friend goes, dude, show him your car. Show him Nickelodeon. And I couldn't help it, freaking.
Hey, hijo de la chi. What the hell? What is this? Paul.
Nickelodeon.
Hombre, cabrón, pinche fluffy. You gave me a heart attack. You take it easy.
Valet brings his car around, a brand new Porsche 911. The car was nice. He pulls up and Valet gives him the keys. He turns around and looks at me.
Hey, tú, Fluffy. Check it out.
I'm like, whatever, it's not Nickelodeon. Chip, chip. The door pops open. Chip, chip. Trunk.
I'm not through yet.
Chip, chip.
HBO.